There are familiar statements: God is great, I love God, praise be to God. They are spoken across cultures, language, and religions. But look carefully. These words do not change God. They do not strengthen God. They do not protect God. They do not improve what already is. The life giving force that breathes this moment has no need for validation. It does not wait to be praised before allowing the heart to beat. It does not withhold breath until its name is spoken. It does not bargain with devotion. Even those beings in the wild don't even know what is God, still breathe, still eat, still function. Life happens freely even when no one remembers to call it anything. God does not suffer when unpraised. God is not wounded by disbelief. God is not elevated by chants or diminished by silence. What changes is not God, what changes is the human mind. When praise is spoken, often something else is happening. An identity is being formed, a position is being taken, a sense of me is being strengthened. I believe, I know, I honor, I am right. The words may sound holy, but the movement is personal. The mind seeks clarity, the mind seeks safety, the mind seeks to feel aligned, chosen, closer, better. And when the alignment becomes identity, division quietly appears. Those who say it this way, those who say it another way, those who do not say it at all, not because God divides, but because the mind did. God does not take sides. Life does not favor one language, one book, one sound, one name. Partiality belongs to thought, not to existence. And when thought believes its version of God must be defended, suffering begins. Conflict arises, comparison grows, fear enters, fear of being wrong, fear of losing meaning, fear of the other. This is not devotion, it is misunderstanding. True reverence does not ask life to agree with it. True reverence does not need display. True reverence does not require another to be excluded. What is beyond name cannot be protected by name. What is beyond form cannot be honored by form alone, and when this is seen, the struggle relaxes. There is no need to prove faith, no need to announce closeness, no need to shine spirituality. Life continues to give itself equally, silently, without preference, and the mind, released from defending an image of God, finds what it was seeking all along. Not to be superior, not to be validated, not to be right, but peace. And when that peace is not disturbed by identity, something deeper is revealed. The struggle ends. Not because life becomes perfect, but because the one who was struggling is no longer being carried forward. The mind no longer argues with reality, it no longer tries to secure itself through belief, through position, through being right. And in that absence, a quiet fullness is felt. This is what has been called heaven, not as a place, not as a reward, not as something after death, but as the natural state when resistance ends. Nothing new added, nothing special is achieved. The heart feels open, the mind feels unburdened. Life moves without friction. Sorrow may still appear, pain may still visit, but suffering no longer takes root. Because suffering requires a center, a me to defend, a story to protect, a future to secure. When that center softens, life is no longer carried alone. The sense of being a separate doer dissolves. The weight of responsibility shifts. Like a drop, realizing it was never separate from the ocean. Effort relaxes, control loosens, trust appears without being chosen. Life is no longer something to survive, it is something that moves through itself. And in this movement, there is ease, there is intimacy, there is quiet joy that does not depend on outcome. Not heaven as imitation, but heaven as relief. Not heaven later, but heaven now. Not somewhere else, but here. When the burden of me is no longer placed at the center of existence, life becomes easy, no longer a center that will dissolve one day, life itself whole. Just like this space, regardless if someone talks about it in a glory or puts it down, the space does not change. It allows everyone to be equally, it is available for everyone to be equally. And when a center takes place and wants glory, that I pray to God, I do this I is the cause of suffering. Not the language I, that I know or we write the language, not that I. This sense of that I am above others, I am better, I am this, I am that, because this I is mistaken for reality. And when reality reveals, only then this I dissolves, and what is called God, existence, is not in walls or at some places, it's everywhere. And that itself is. You cannot support what is called God, that is supporting you. So even this statement that God is with you always, God does not need you, you need God. So where is the surrender if you say out loud to people that God is with me, I pray God, that is me, look at me, I am chanting God's name, I am a religious person. And when you see that clearly, then you can break free from the idea, if the desire is there to really know what's going on, to know yourself beyond the I, then you can see who is this I, who speaks, who is here now. Looking at a photo of yourself, that is not you in that moment that you are looking at. That is recorded. Always, mind is always in past. You cannot go even 1 second prior. Even this, whatever the seconds are or minutes are on the video, you can rewind the recording, but actual life cannot be repeated. You cannot relive a single moment. That is just recorded, revisited by the mind, always repeating what it knows, not actually what is. And once you discover actually who you really are, but this I is a wall, and that does not dissolve like this. The knowledge helps. Knowledge dissolves it, because where there is desire, then honestly you will look into it yourself. Just like if you really desire that you need to do something, you need to become a doctor, you need to become an engineer, you need a knowledge. How can you become a doctor or do heart surgery or do something else? Without the knowledge, you can't do anything, even in the world that you are living in, the physical world. Even this can't be recorded if there is no knowledge. So with the knowledge, things can happen here. With the knowledge, you can go beyond the suffering, and what is called heaven is not elsewhere. It is the state where you go beyond the mind. You leave all the notions behind, and then who is left to speak? Who will say, I know, I love God? God loves everyone. If that is the statement, then he or that what is called God is first, not me. Even saying that God is great, that means that I am taking pride in saying that God is great. God does not care if it's great or not great. You see for yourself, if all of a sudden that speaker is just, God is great, God is this, attention is required that look at me. If I change the clothing and put some markings and do my whole appearance differently, that is known as God's appearance, then that will fool you. That is what's been happening. God does not require anything. It does not just come into a form dressed up in a different way. If that was the case, then God would have done it by himself. He is smart enough to do everything that human cannot possibly even imagine. God is not smart enough to dress. This is where the misunderstanding and the ego takes over.